Welcome to All Things Moore County, Moore County's weekly radio show highlighting the many facets of the Sandhills. That includes real estate, lifestyle, community, and neighborhoods. And now, from 4 Properties, here's your host, Bill Sahadi.
Good morning and welcome to the talk show, All Things Moore County. Dorothy, did you see the article in the Pilot this week? They do this every year, and it's kind of, as the demographics keep changing in Moore County, they do a feature, and I think it's pretty clever. They recognize 20 people, I guess, under the age of 40.
Yeah, I saw that.
They decide to characterize as movers, shakers, influential people in the community. And we don't have all 20 with us, but we have one.
Oh, that's good.
And we have Sarah Lankford, who is the founder and producer over at the Encore Center, which I've had the privilege of watching grow like a child in the last 4 years, and seeing it mature, seeing how active the Encore Center and the Encore Center Theater has become in Moore County. Sarah, we don't care how they quantify and qualify. I would have put you in that group from the time I met you about 3 years ago. And I forgot the last time you were on the show, you were with your 5th child who had not quite yet been born. Your oldest is she in school now, in college?
She is going away to Montreat
in
September. Yes.
That's amazing. I don't know many people that have 5 children these days.
That weren't all planned.
So you have an organization that's growing by leaps and bounds. It appears to me. We've had many of the actors and actresses on the show. We always want to feature some of the productions, and all the people that I know who come to the Encore Center, they always walk away and they make it a point to tell me what a great time they had, how good it was. And you have a reputation also for a lot of homegrown talent, which is very unusual for a small theater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just love what we do, and we feel like we're a family.
Yeah.
So we really are a family there at the Encore Center, and we welcome everyone into our family. And, speaking of the children, that's why, we offer stuff starting at birth. It's just, we just want to pour into everyone, no matter what age they are, no matter how much experience they have. We want them to feel welcome and feel like they have a place at the Encore Center, because whether you've never done theater or you did it your whole life growing up, we just want everyone to feel involved and feel like it's a safe, fun, welcoming place.
Well, you've been joined today by Becky Podlagar, who is a company manager, who has been on in the past. And we have a lot to unwrap today, not just with the upcoming production that you want to speak about in early May. It's a 2-week production, Sweet Delilah Swim Club. But you want to talk, I guess, full circle about a lot of the events coming up this summer, this fall. You just all had your reveal. The Encore Center has become a big deal in Southern. It really has. Truly, it has.
Thank you. We stay very, very busy.
Yeah. What do you all do for free time?
What is free time?
It's nonstop.
There's no stopping.
Right.
But it is wonderful to every day be able to make art and bring it out into the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marissa DiGregorio is here. We've not had a chance to meet, but we've spoken on the phone. You're doing a lot of marketing for the Encore Center.
Yes.
How did you get involved with them?
Well, I believe you've had Steve Kane on this
Yeah.
show before.
Yeah.
Steve is a good friend of mine.
Yeah. Great guy.
Yeah, we were out at the wine cellar, and Steve made me sign up for an audition. And I auditioned for all of the shows for last season. I was cast as the lead in Bye Bye Birdie, which is a show that was the first show that I had ever been in.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I actually got started doing acting, and then I was like, well, this is great. My husband was deployed. I was like, this is giving me something amazing, and meeting Becky and Sarah was just overwhelmingly wonderful, and I started doing props for the next show, and then I started doing set for the next show, and then was the assistant stage manager for the Christmas show, and it has just kept evolving. I helped backstage for the winter camps, and I'm now on the board, and now I'm doing the marketing also for Encore.
There's something very organic about the Encore Center. It represents the best of a small town, small business organization that has started and grown. And if I'm not mistaken, Steve Kane, who introduced you, he was introduced to the Encore Center by his daughter, who was a student. Can you tell me that story?
No, she wasn't a student. We were at the Spring Fest, and he was working the booth right next to our booth.
Okay.
And he came over and started talking to me about his daughter, and he's like, "Oh, my daughter's in theater." And I was like, "Oh, is she around?" And I think she had already gone off to college. And he said, "No, but I did theater with her." I was like, "Oh, great. So you're going to audition?" And he did. He auditioned for A Christmas Carol during our first season. So I just met him by standing next to him at a booth and at the Spring Fest, and his wife is actually now the president of our board.
So it's definitely grassroots. It's Southern Pines, Moore County, Pinehurst, Aberdeen. This whole area is such a great place to start something like this, because in 2 or 3 years, if you do all the right things, you can very quickly become an entity. If you were in a large city with the urban sprawl, it's kind of hard to get recognized. But here, the tether lines are so interconnected, and you seem to be recruiting, like from a grassroots point of view, within.
Bill, I just haunt the place.
You what?
I just showed up and never left. And that's really what happened there.
And we are so thankful.
Yes.
During all the productions that you've done, and you guys have been very busy, do you find that with each production you're getting new people who have come for the first time?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we have people, someone in our current show, this is her first time acting in a show.
And how did she get into the...
She auditioned and just thought it was something that she wanted to do, and so she auditioned, and she's doing a fabulous job. And we're just so excited to get new people on our stage, as well as bring back some that we've had before. And it just is a very neat way, because you watch the actors that have been there before helping her to figure out things. It's really, really neat, and they just all become so close so quickly.
So for people who don't know, the Encore Center Theater is what we've highlighted on past shows, different productions. The actors and actresses have come in, and they've all been great. But the Encore Center is more than just the theater portion of the equation, correct?
Correct. Yes. So when we first started, and I spent 2 years looking for a building, made sure I could find somewhere that housed both a studio for the educational purposes as well as the nonprofit theater. And since the nonprofit was baby, just starting up, the studio is really what helps support all of that and helps feed it, and now they just help each other out. We have a studio that started 6 years ago. So, and a lot of those families, as you mentioned, the demographic out here changing, started moving out here. So they kept saying, please open a studio out here, please open a studio out here. So we opened the educational studio. But my passion, everything growing up, I did musical theater. And so I really wanted to see live theater here. And I kept trying to find venues and opportunities for us to produce shows, and it was just very difficult. So finally I just said, I'm going to find my own place to build. And then I mean, the best thing about my job is finding the right people to do that.
Right.
And I always tell everybody my favorite day is payday, because I love the people that work for us, and they deserve to be rewarded, and
Yeah.
and I just love them all so much.
So it's not a revelation when you tell people, you operate a theater, a local theater. It is, margins can be very tight. It is expensive to do, and you have to focus on consistency and growth as opposed to trying to hit a home run here or there. Sometimes we always say breaking even is a noble goal, but because of that, you have to take a very long view of growth, not a short. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's one thing that we've been working on improving on, and how Marissa's really stepping up and helping us is with our marketing.
Yeah.
And just getting the word out, because even though we've been around since 2019, we still meet people that are like, what's the Encore Center? And so they just still don't know that we exist sometimes. So Marissa's really doing a lot.
One of the things I've admired about the way you market your shows, you have a pattern of partnering with different organizations in Moore County that have a need. You've partnered with Ashton's. You've done some dinner theaters. How do you identify the organization? Because I know that Tambra Place is one that you're going to be working with on an upcoming production. How do you make those decisions?
Okay. So last year we decided not just to focus on what happens within our walls, but how can we reach more people in the community? We have such wonderful people that walk through our doors that are just so loving. So how can we bring awareness to other nonprofits in the area? Because coming out of COVID, every nonprofit was struggling. And so working together, the whole thing with Ashton started organically through COVID and them they could only be at 30% capacity. So we started the dinner theater with that so that they could serve more meals, and we could only have 25 guests in our theater. So those types of partnerships started. And the whole nonprofit thing is similar. It came from COVID. How can we help these other people? And we looked at our shows for the last season and said, okay, so Bye Bye Birdie has a lot about boys and teens, so we found Males of Distinction to work with. And each show just kind of played off of the show we were doing. The Hound of Baskervilles did Caring Hearts for Canines. And then the Christmas show, Christmas for More.
Okay.
So we chose the shows based on, or it chose the organizations based on the shows that we were doing. And since this is an all-women's show coming up, that's why we chose the Tambra Place. And one of my friends was on their board of directors starting it. So
there you go.
Yeah.
So you grew up in the arts, with the arts.
Yes.
And so this has been a dream of yours because you were an actress, you were involved. Your husband is your partner, and he sort of has bought in 100% to your dream, and he's tireless in terms of his work ethic, right, and what you're all doing there. But now this is a family effort, is it not?
Yes, he helps us with, basically whatever we need. I'll call him up there, this light bulb's out, come do this. But he's just very supportive in everything that we do. And with 5 children, we can't both be there, clearly. So a lot of the support is divvying up the workload of family and work. But it's really the people that we have there in the theater making all of the stuff happen. I can't take credit for it. Becky works tirelessly for all of these productions, and our volunteers like Marissa coming in. They just, they're what makes what we call the magic happen. So. Well,
there's going to be some magic happening. I guess it's the weekend it's a 2 weekend event starting on Friday, the 5th of May. Mm-hmm. You have yet another production. It just seems like you just pivoted away from one. And I remember the exhaustion that you feel after a production, and it was a 1 week thing, but most of your productions are 2. So the actors and actresses go home, they melt, they're exhausted, they have to re-energize, but you keep going.
We usually just
'Cause you're
take
the-
that set down and put the next one up.
You're
the next day.
How do you do it?
Just keep going. Just keep going. Our next one coming up is Sweet Delilah Swim Club, and it's 5 women, and we've had 4 days of rehearsal, and they have already blocked the whole show because they are just.
They have already what?
They've already blocked the whole show, so they've gone through the whole show already.
Oh, wow.
Learning where they're going to go on stage and those kind of things, which is unprecedented to do it that quickly. But they are just fabulous. They have been doing a great job. We just started rehearsals on Monday, and they're already, tonight we're going to go through the whole show in order, which is just crazy in the first week. So they've been working really hard, and the show in May is just going to be fabulous. So.
When I hear about a show that features 5 women, okay, I right away think of Steel Magnolias, which was a show you had put on, which
Right.
I had seen in New York off Broadway before the movie
Yes.
was ever made, and I think I made the comment that an all-female cast is way more impressive and interesting than an all-male cast. You get much more information, and when they I remember Steel Magnolias, when they made the movie, they had to Hollywoodize it, and they wound up casting all the male characters, which was a letdown because it was more interesting to just hear about them from the women's perspective, all taking place in that beauty salon. Is there similarity with this play?
There is. This also kind of think about the Golden Girls.
Okay.
They these 5 women, they were on a swim team in high school, and they meet up every summer on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and it takes place throughout 4 times in their lives. I think they start. The show starts when they're 44 and ends up when they're in their 70s. So it's really neat. And this group has just, it seems like that they've been friends forever, and they just met on Monday. So we're really hopeful that the audiences are going to get to see that joy and see that they really, really look like friends up there on stage.
So over the 30-year period, they go through and share their relationships, their
Correct.
families, I guess the politics of the world, everything.
Yes. Health issues, those, lots of things. Yes.
So there was a movie. It's before all of your times collectively, and I'm going to show my age. It featured Ellen Burstyn and Alan Alda. It was called Same Time Next Year. It came out in 1978 or 79. Johnny Mathis and Jane Oliver did the song that was Oscar-nominated song, and they performed it in 1979. And it was about a couple that were both married to other spouses. And at the time, it was a little risque, but it really wasn't. Today, it's nothing. They would meet every year at this cabin in this beautiful place, and they shared all their lives, their children, their issues, the Vietnam War, blah, blah, blah. I get the same feeling that made me think of Same Time Next Year. Now, you should go back and Google that show. We're going to come back in the second set. We want to talk about the production, and then we want to talk a lot about, I want to talk about your staff, your teachers, how far you've reached out into the community and what the Encore Center has become. This is All Things Moore County. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our second set. We are talking all about the Encore Center and the Encore Center Theater. about some upcoming productions, and about the company, the organization at large, and the inroads that they've made through since 2019. They survived COVID. They are reinventing themselves. It seems like every couple of months with one production after another. And the one that we were just talking about, Becky, opening night is May the 5th.
Yes, we open Sweet Delilah Swim Club
Yep.
on May 5th.
Yep.
Shows run 2 weekends, and Friday nights at 7:30, on Saturdays at 2 o'clock and 7:30, and on Sundays at 2 o'clock for 2 weekends.
Sounds like this particular show will make people laugh and probably cry a little bit
Yes,
too.
yes,
Is that right?
absolutely. You're going to go through a whole gamut of emotions in this show because it's a lifetime of these ladies being together, and it's really beautiful.
Does it take place in the same set?
Yes, they every year in August they get together in the same cottage
And
on the
where
Outer Banks of North Carolina.
So they're in the cottage in all three sets.
Yes.
The reason I ask is because right away I'm thinking, because it's so expensive to do these productions, if you have one set, isn't that a little bit more cost effective than if you have to keep changing the sets for different scenes?
It is. The only thing with this show is that it has to age, so things change in
that's
the
true.
house
That's
over
true.
the 30 years or so. So each scene of each act changes a little bit as you see not only the actors getting older, but also the house itself getting older.
And it spans how many years?
I believe it's 30 some years that they're there. Yeah.
Okay. Sort of like an anthology
Yes.
of people's lives, and people can identify.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You are partnering with an organization. Can you talk a little bit, Marissa, about it?
Yeah,
this show?
sure. So Tambra Place, it was founded in March 2018. It was to create a safe space for females 18 to 24, and they identified a need of there was rising homelessness in that age demographic. And they have, Sarah just recently just told me that they were creating a house and just finished building it to house these underprivileged women, and they help put them back on their feet. It's a really great organization.
Yes,
I
it is.
encourage
Yep.
people to go and check out their website. I actually the only reason I know that they exist is from a different fundraiser that somebody else put on for them. So they're a very wonderful organization, and the lady who runs it, Tambra, she's been delightful to talk to. And
who's that?
I believe her name is Tambra. Tambra
Chamberlain.
Chambers.
That's
Yeah.
it. Chambers.
Yep.
So, as a partner, you have literature at the Encore Center.
Yes.
Is there, and do you donate? How does that work when you have a partner?
So it depends on which nonprofit we're partnering with. Basically, we ask them what their need is. So for Caring Hearts for Canines, we collected, dog food, blankets, anything that they needed. Christmas for More, we collected Christmas presents.
Right.
The Pines Preservation Guild, it was just about bringing awareness to the community and preserving our community. And so Tambra Place has different needs. They'll need they need hygiene products and things of that nature. And they also are currently looking for volunteers to help sign up and finish setting things up for these women. And you can see all of that on their social media pages. I think they have Sign Up Genius links. So whatever their need is what we try and bring awareness to and help spread in the community. If it's a donation, what we do is if somebody brings in a donation when they come see our show, then they get a free concession.
Oh.
So just as a little thank you for bringing something in. And we just love seeing a huge pile of things to give away as donations.
I see the connection now that you spoke about in the first set about a relationship between the nonprofit that you're partnering with and the tone and the tenor of the play that you're producing. I see okay. So it's not just you don't pull a name out of a hat. You look into it and try to make it an interconnection, so to speak.
Yes, because we also want those nonprofits
Yeah.
to join in with us. So,
Yep.
you know, if they are coming maybe to bring the girls to come see the show, and this is a show that they would probably enjoy, or some nonprofits we hope help partner with things. And when we talk about the next season and those nonprofit partnerships, we can kind of give some examples about those things that we have coming up soon too.
Your plate always seems to be full to me. I've spoken to parents who have their children enrolled in some of your classes. I've had the privilege of meeting a couple of the actors and actresses from various productions, but I think you said in this particular production, it's a new group of actors and actresses who had not performed before.
A few of them have performed on our stage before and have performed in other theater companies.
Yeah.
But we do have one lady who has not performed in another show. So in a speaking part anyway. So it's really great to have, your experienced actors, but then also, just community members that just want to try it out. And it's really, really neat to watch them work together and help each other on stage.
We we put all our podcasts on YouTube now, and we always get new people who are commenting or listening and watching. So it's, even though we've spoken about this before, the Encore Center was a well-known funeral home on New Hampshire, and it has been completely transformed. I remember seeing it when the pews were still in place, right? But now you walk in there and it's not like that at all.
No, and in the last 4 weeks, it's really not like that.
Oh, really?
Because we've updated our seating area completely. So where it was just two small platforms uplifted, now we have 7 levels. So we have made every level, so it looks like a theater in there now, and not the funeral home or chapel.
Has your husband thrown his back out?
No, he did not do it. Actually, Becky and Stuart, our technical director, did all of the work, and then spent some super late nights there getting it all done. So in between shows, when the theater's not being used, they had a very short window to do that. So, and one of our concerns and issues in the space was sight lines, and so they came up with a solution and did all the work.
Seating capacity still the same?
Seating capacity has now increased. So where we were at 82 seats, we are now at 104 seats with our new multi-level seating.
That's crazy.
So yeah, we're super, super excited, and this will be the first set of audiences at this show coming up to get to see the new place. So.
What was the name of the funeral business?
Powell Funeral Home.
Powell Funeral. It's a cute building, and you don't use the word cute with funeral home, but it is, and it's charming, and it's very intimate. And when you walk in, you feel like you're at home. You don't feel like you're at some oversized, impersonal venue. What about the acoustics?
Well, we are working on that as well. In the last 2 weeks, we have also upgraded some of our lighting and our sound to make the whole experience, especially now that we have the new seating, to make the whole experience even better for our audiences. We want everyone to be able to see the stage, hear the actors on stage, and just really see them with the new way we've set up the lighting, so that we don't have any, hopefully not any dark spots, so we can just keep it all going, making the magic.
We when we come back in the third set, I want to talk about the reveal, but I want to talk to you a little bit about the school, the training, the staff. We're going to start because we're going to run out short of time. But it's music, it's dance, it's acting. I've seen some social media posts. These kids, they're the size of a minute. And they're out there, and their parents are parked outside, and they're getting their first training. All different types of training for the arts for all different ages.
Yep. We start with kinder music, which is at birth. And the arts, I mean, science has proven that the arts helps improve development of people of all ages. I actually, I told you I grew up in the arts and musical theater, but I went to college for music therapy. So using the arts can help people, from birth as far as child development and improving their cognitive abilities, physical, social, every aspect of a child's life, all the way up through, an older generation helping with memory and recalling information. Music therapists work with, dementia patients, all of those things. So when parents invest in putting their kids in the arts, it's not just another extracurricular activity. It's something that improves all aspects of their life. They're going to make lifelong friends. There's nothing like doing a show or a dance class or music class with friends.
Yeah.
And those are lifelong relationships. So
Yeah. You know what I'm most impressed about with you is your conviction and your credibility. When you speak, it comes like, this is who I am, as opposed to this is what we're doing. And there's a big qualitative difference.
Thank you.
It just comes through. So you're getting to express your vision and your dream for other children growing up, but for people of all ages. You also have a very impressive staff of teachers and instructors.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we have 62 staff members. All of them. The good thing is the military brings us some amazing people, but then I say they also take them away.
Yeah.
But what we love is everyone that's always come in has just been incredible. They love what they do. They love pouring into students, training them.
Yeah.
And we even encourage students that if they want to continue professionally, we have a scholarship program where students can continue the arts in college, and we give them college scholarships for it if they've been involved in training at the Encore Center. So we don't want to just stop with the training there, but we hope that artists continue on, and some have even come back, and
That's right.
they even come back over the summer and are helping with some of the summer camps for Les Mis and Shrek, and I think 2 of our students are coming back for that.
Well, let's come back in the third set and let's talk about how your reveal went.
Okay.
Some of the productions that you have coming up for the balance of the year. We're talking with the Encore Center in Southern Pines. This is All Things Moore County. Welcome back to our final set, talking with the Encore Center and the Encore Center Theater. For the 2023-2024 season, you guys have a lot to unwrap. A lot of things are going on after the production of Sweet Delilah. And time is short, but I want to get as much information as we can from you. What happens when you close down the show in May?
Yes, so after this show, we will be doing a fundraiser called Encore Unscripted, which is a improv show, and we are so excited to bring improv. This is a new adventure for us. I'm going to let Marissa talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's a group of actors who have been in various productions at the Encore Center. We were all brought together by Kana Strong, who's a very familiar name around here.
Yes, and well respected, by the way.
Oh, yes. So we basically, how the night will go is we have a bunch of different games that we've been working on, and it's all very quick. It's all very spur of the moment things. None of it is planned. And we have a good group of people that have either done improv, have never done improv. We have range and age from 18 to 34. So we have a nice group of well-rounded people doing it. The tickets are on sale now on our website. there will be, we'll have concessions and drinks, and it'll be a lot of audience participation. So it will be a really good time, and it's something that hasn't been done around here. And I think it's, being from up north, we have improv everywhere. So
Right.
I think it's very, it'll be very cool to bring this to Moore County, where we have so many arts, performing arts, museums, art galleries, things like that. So I think bringing improv is just the next logical step for us.
Yeah, and even people that aren't really into theater.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're going
It's
to be
fun.
laughing their tails off. It is recommended for ages 16 and up, since it all is all improvised. You just never know
What's going to come out of their mouths?
what may be said. So we do recommend that.
Yeah.
For sure.
But it'll be fun.
Right. So that's coming up
May 26th.
May 26th.
Okay.
And tickets are available on our website, encorecenter.net. And then after that, we will roll right into our summer production camps with our teens. We have decided to just take on a huge show, and we are going to do Les Miserables.
Yeah.
And we are going to have 30 teens on our stage doing that show, and we are so excited for the challenge of that. The kids are super excited about that. And then after that, we're going to have somewhere between 30 to 35 kids for each of the Shrek the Musical Junior camps, and we run that 2-week camps. But we run it twice with 2 different casts. So we will have over 100 children doing shows this summer for those camps. And it's just amazing to watch them grow from year to year. And
Yeah.
we get so many new kids come in, and it's just great. We have to keep increasing our numbers for how many we can allow into the camps, because we just don't want to turn anybody away. We want everybody who wants to experience it to experience it. And then after that, we will roll straight into our new season that we just announced at our season reveal. And that season will start off the show in September. The show in September will be Forever Plaid, which is a story of 4 guys, and you'll have lots of music from the 50s, and it's just going to be a beautiful show with lots of great music, a live pianist on stage. So that's a great one. And then after that, we're going to do something different this year for October. We're going to do a murder mystery.
Interactive?
Dinner theater.
Oh, it is? Yeah, okay.
And Kana Strong wrote this one for us.
Oh, did she really?
It's called Playing Dead, and it is absolutely hilarious. And then after that, our Christmas show will be Miracle on 34th Street.
Classic.
And then we'll have our winter production camp, another set of kids on stage in January, and we are doing High School Musical Junior for that production. And then we'll go into our annual Valentine's type dinner theater, and that is Don't Dress for Dinner. And then after that, we're going to end out the season with a huge show. We are doing Nonsense, a mega musical.
That's May of next year.
May of next year. So we are all planned out and just
Goodness.
so excited.
You guys have a lot in front of you. You're also transitionalizing a little bit. Your social media presence is switching gears. Some name changes, some
Yes.
different venues. You want to talk about that?
Yep. So we have created a separate theater Instagram page and Facebook page for our nonprofit theater.
Right.
The handle is Encore Theater of the Pines, which is both on Facebook and on Instagram. It's going to allow us to do a lot more to promote the theater, which will be really fun. I have a lot of fun things planned to do for each of the shows coming up. And it's really just to get our name out there and make sure that people know, because, I mean, we discovered earlier this year, we were at an event, and we did a murder mystery for the Sandhills Women's Exchange as part of community outreach.
Yep.
And they were like, the Encore Center, where's that? What is that? They had never heard of us. And so it was a little shocking, because I was like, wow, we have such a big presence, but it's just us. So we wanted to make sure that we could get the theater out there as well as the Encore Center studio.
Right.
Because they're both super important to this community.
This isn't your only job.
This is not my only job.
You have another. I mean,
I do have another job. I work in pharmaceuticals
Yeah.
and biotechnology.
Yeah.
Doing quality assurance. I'm a scientist by degree, a biologist. So yeah, this is just something on the.
one left brain, one right brain.
Yeah. Well, I'm also a twin, and my twin sister is an actress in New York City. So.
Is that right?
Yes.
So people, parents, school is going to be coming to a close pretty soon. And one of the challenges that parents have sometimes in the summer, what do we do with our children? How do we keep them occupied? How do we keep their minds growing and stimulated so they're not just one lazy summer day after another? They should go on your site. They should look at your summer production camps.
Right.
You mentioned they're sold out already.
They are, but we do have a wait list. So if somebody
Wow.
does, back out of being in the show, then certainly we can add them. Then we also have the studio has multiple camps. There's something going on every week, pretty much throughout the whole summer. So it just is continual.
I remember as a kid, I would hang around the summer as a kid complaining, I have nothing to do. My mother said, I don't ever want to hear you say you have nothing to do. In Moore County, there is no reason. There's so many activities, and you guys are filling a very strong void. You're also working by having the arts beyond the schools. There's another venue, by the way, the Encore Center. It's terrific. We want to get you back on this year. Love having your cast members come on. They love, by the way, doing what they do.
They do.
And I get the very strong sense that what you're building there is truly a family where everyone has bought into what it is you guys are creating.
1,000%.
Yeah. So I wish you all the very best. I mean, break a lot of legs this year, right?
Yes.
Becky, I mean,
Thank you.
and do you have a vacation coming up yourself personally?
No.
No. Okay.
There's no time for that.
But you love.
There's work to be done.
Yeah.
There's always work to be done.
For people who have not been to the Encore Center or to one of their shows, it's really a gift to the community, and the ticket prices are so reasonable. Everything about the events that you have are very user friendly, and it's just a great opportunity for people. They don't have to leave town to get some good entertainment. Wish you all the very best this year.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
This is All Things Moore County. Get to the Encore Center and have a great week. Thank you.